Hey everybody, let's do Pups in the Park Memory Journal Keeper Part 2. This is with Papercrafts Socials. I am Christi with Christisecreations and a mixed media artist. So in the first video, I showed you how to literally create what we have done right now. If you open it up, it is now blank inside. Oops, I actually put some tags in there and I didn't even realize. I'm just getting ahead of myself. So there's so many different tags, pockets, and so many other stuff. So I have pre-folded a couple things to make it a little quicker on us. So we have these folders, and I'm going to show you where I put them. First off, you're going to fold the tabs down. I have one here I have not folded yet, so I could show y'all. And we're just going to fold like is. And then we're just going to crease it down. Now, this one, to get it laying right, I've noticed it's best to work in your back of your book. I personally put it here. If you put it here, it's going to push out on that page, as you can see. So having it here, it gives it that little extra space. So I'm going to be using my tape runner. And let's go ahead and do this, because something I will do is I'm working on the book. You're gonna see me folding this where I have it to where I can work on this page easier. So we're gonna be a little bit at an angle. I'm working with tab 1 so far. And this one I want to get close as I can to that edge and press down. Tab 2. But I'm personally using my tape runner. Again, you use your glue you prefer. And remember, you need to think about how long your glue dries. Okay, I'm not pushing it all the way up. I'm giving a small bit of gap there and then pressing it down. So there's tab 2. We'll do the same with tab 3 and 4. There's 3. As you can see, they're not going to be perfect. And here's number 4. So you can see I did not do great there. Luckily, I can wiggle still a little because I hadn't pressed down yet, and get it a little bit better lined up. Okay, those are now in. Before we go to all the different folders and tags and everything, we have 2 things I've already pre-done, so I can show you them done and then show you how to do. These are 2 different little envelopes. This one holds small little tags in it, like so. This one I'll be putting the Velcro on with y'all. I didn't do that ahead of time because I wanted to do that with y'all, because I always let my glue sit for a few. This one is just hole punched with a micro hole punch that I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm not even sure what size it is. It didn't really say. And obviously I cannot tie a bow right now. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so there's the bow. So that one's pretty straightforward. There's a dot on each end here. I'm just going to take the little hole punch I have. It's not even a 1/8, which normally I use my 1/8 on this. But I wanted to show you with tools that are not as expensive that you can get and still use. So I hole punch before I fold because I learned it's easier. The ribbon I'm using is literally really thin ribbon. It's only a 1/8 inch ribbon, and it will go through it without issue. All you have to do on this one is fold in and then crease. go, and one more. And then I just put the ribbon in, like so, and we have this done. Now you notice that hole punches off. If you want to make the hole a little bigger, you can use the hole punch more than once. That's up to you, kind of thing. So this one is pre-glued, and it's like this in your kit. So you're going to fold each side in to the white, and then I'll show you how we're going to glue it. I'm having to make sure I try to remember to stay on video. I'm not pre-running my thing across until I get all this stuff folded, so that way I don't have to keep flipping back and forth on this one. So let's fold this down, this down, this down, and I'm going to have fold the top down as well. Now I'm using liquid glue on this one. You can still use everything else, but I really just want a thin line. And I'm opening up and just going down from the point of that side down towards the bottom, or from the bottom up to that point, whichever way you want to look at it, on which side I'm doing. And I just press this down. With Barely Art glue that I'm using, it normally takes 5 minutes to set, so I will check it. That's why I have one already pre-ready to go. It completely dries within 24 hours. That's why I really enjoy using it with my paper crafting. Alright, so now we have that right there. And now we just need to have some Velcro. It don't really matter what size you use. You can use the Velcro like I'm using. You can leave it free. You can put a brad here and here and run a ribbon around. There are so many opportunities you can do with this. This can hold tags like this right here. If you want to slide those in, you could, or so forth. So now you have a ton of tags, pockets to choose from. And what are you going to do with all these? Well, the question is, where do you want them? Do you want to keep them in a safe place and work as you work in your book? Do you want to lay them all on out? Well, I'm going to show you how I'm going to double a tag up and put it in, because I have a perfect plan for this one. Also, if you're wanting to use this for lots of people to look at, I would only use the one Velcro instead of the 3 I used in the first video. But that again is up to you. This is more for me only, so I put 3. And I had forgotten to say that in the first video. Okay, so I folded these tabs down, and I'm literally going to stack one up on another pocket. So I just will do just like that. I may have to grab my clips and hold that down for a little bit because that one wants to pop up. So let me reach and grab a couple clips to sit over here. So I have them ready to go. And again, I'm just using liquid glue. And I'm just going to run this around. So this will use smaller pictures, and I'm going to one day I will take some time and show you how to do those. There are multiple ways of doing them. It really just depends on what programs you have access to and that you prefer. I'm just going to line this up at the bottom. It won't be perfect. There will be gaps on each side a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and clamp it so it stays set while the glue sits. There are so many different types of clamps out there you can have. These are just what I have on hand. And I'm going to do it on all 3 sides. So while that is sitting, my household has multiple dogs. So say I want to make this all about all the dogs. I'm going to add pictures and everything else. But I have a solution for you. You have all different sorts of tags, shapes here. that you can actually, at this point, get all these shapes pretty much in your dog tag shape. My thought on these are, I'm going to take a picture and poke a hole in it, poke a hole in this, put the dog's name on front, and the details I want for the dog on the back. And then it can slip in a pocket. Simple, easy. Also, if you don't want as many tags as I have here, you can grab 2. Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, 3 tags that way. You can do it that way. I'm a dog mom, so maybe something like that. It's all up to you on stacking your tags. All you have to do is take whichever hole punches you have, hole punch these out. They're very simple to do. I have a regular hole punch here. Hole punch is the bigger ones. And then the 1/8 hole punch I did not bring with me. I'm actually filming at another studio today, so I have a different one here. This is the micro one I got from Hobby Lobby. And it makes a hole like that. So depending on what ribbon you need, depends on what hole punch you really need as well. So these are all kind of just put where you want, write what you want on them. There's lots of different types of ribbons. You can do colored ribbons, you can get dog themed ribbons. It's really a ton out there to pick. I'm seeing if I want to stack any of the other tags. That's a little unusual variation, but you could stack that like that, where you have that one and this one over it. This one maybe on that, or the bone. I know, ooh, actually I like that, the bone on that one. Now I'm taking the small one right here, because I want to show you an idea. So at the beginning, I started with the tabs back here. Well, you have space left over. You can put a picture, you can put a tag, you can put a pocket there to hold some small things. That is up to you. But I'm going to show you how to glue one pocket in here before we wrap this up, because truthfully, it's all about decorating yourself. And I'm going to show you the 2 different variations I sometimes do when I decorate. I use all sorts of stickers and everything else, but I didn't bring any of those because I want that to be up to you. And I want you to use things that make sense to you in your pup or pups. So for this tag, I'm only going to do the sides and bottom. The top stays free. I'm doing a very thin line. And that is all I'm going to do. As you can see, it's very thin. This one I made, this is where I would personally put it. So this is where it's going. The front to help feature our lovely pups. They're just right there. And you're just going to let it dry. And then once they're dry, you're able to take a tag. I'm going to do in the top one so I don't mess up the bottom, and slide them in. Even though these don't have hole punches, you can also punch those and make more tags that way. You add these in where you want to. Everything is really up to you and your style. One other variation you have, I didn't pull up yet, are some tags that you fold in half and can write inside. They are very simple. Just fold and crease and you're done. You have a postcard that you can put things on as well. Now, earlier in the first video I told you to save these, because you can take these and make a little more tags out of this strip here and a little bit out of this one here as well. So to do that, I literally will just grab and cut a straight line down And I have another little tag now. And if I want to, give me a second, everybody. I have too many supplies with me and I'm not finding my supply I want. If you do not want the sharp edges on the tags that you're creating, I have a, got this off Amazon. I'm using the 4mm one. It just will round the edges. Or if you do not want to invest in money, you just curve the edge yourself. I'm not as good at that, so I prefer having one that will do it all for me. So I hope this gives you great ideas on how to decorate and feature your pup. Some other ideas, you can put sticker right here, put your pup's name in maybe make a little plaque, put your pup's name. There's so many things possible to do with this. Thank y'all for joining me for part 2. Please drop any comments, questions you have. Please like and subscribe. I hope to see you in a future video. Bye, everybody.